Welcome back to my channel Paris Programming. In this video, I will speak about MySQL where I will emphasize on the keys. What are the keys that I am going to discuss? Alternate key, super key, candidate key, primary key, foreign key and your composite key. आपके दिमाग में सिर्फ की ही रहेगा before examination. This key will help you to open the lock in your brain. When you will see the question, you can able to correctly identify the option to which key it is indicating. So let's start. So let's see what the question is saying. The duplication of data at multiple places is known as. That means here is the keyword is available for you. Duplicate of data. Now the options are called data integrity, data deposit, data redundancy and maintenance. What is called integrity? If the data is maintained in different places and the value for the same record is same, not different, then that is called data integrity. Data deposit. If I want to deposit the data or to store the data in a particular location using a particular format, then that is called data deposit. Data redundancy. That means duplication of data in a table or different table, then it is called data redundancy. Data maintenance, that means data is already available and I am maintaining or managing the data as per the requirement of the organization, then that is called data maintenance. So the correct answer is your data redundancy. Let's see what is called redundancy. Now look at over here, Mr. Atul has taken a topic called Python which is taught by a faculty called Amia, and the same student Mr. Atul is opted for the subject called Java which is taught by a faculty called Priya. Now data is available in multiple places, but reason behind is that he has chosen different topic and is taught by different faculty members. But for the simple, he has chosen data structure which is taught by Aswin, and Himal, the student name is Himal, chosen the topic called DBMS and that faculty is your Rinki. Now these records are not duplicate, so it is not called data redundancy, but here for student Atul the data is duplicate, that's why it is called data redundancy. Let's see the question number 2. Question number 2 says the term DAS refers to the data being consistent and correct. Now when you're talking about consistency and correctness of the data, that means it is talking about your data integrity, because it says that if the same record is available in different tables or in the same table, the data for that particular record must be same. That is called data integrity. Let's see an example. Now suppose this is my table. Now in this table, student name is Aishwarya, belongs to the department D001, which the department name is your HR and it is headed by Mr. Amia. So that means wherever I am having HR department, its HOD must be Amia and the department number must be D001. Then it is called data consistency. Now Aishwarya, the student Aishwarya, Pratiksha and Arosis all are belongs to HR department. So that's why D001 must be the department ID and HOD must be Amia in all the places. Next one is your Tanvi. Tanvi belongs to D003, which the department name is CSC, headed by Pyari. That means wherever I am having D003, it must be CSC, department name must be CSC and HOD must be Pyari only. Now who are the students? Tanvi, Trinav and Manvi. Look at this, for all the students your department ID, department name and department HOD is same. Next is Aryaman, is a student who belongs to finance department, whose department ID is D002, headed by Sasi. Now another student Akira is also belongs to finance department, so its HOD must be Sasi and department code must be D002. In this case, these are called data integrity is maintained and data is consistent. Now assume that suppose this department belongs to CSC. Now the department and HOD is same, no change in this, and suppose the organization wants to change the department ID because of some reason. Now it is changing to D009. Now here the integrity is violated, because look, this D003 has to be changed to D009, which is not done. So that's why it is violating the data integrity. Now the next question is, the rows of a relations are generally referred to as dash. Row को क्या बोलते हैं हम, and the columns are usually referred to as dash. तो row and column को क्या बोलते हैं? As we know that rows are called tuple and the columns are called attributes. So the option D is the correct answer for this question, is your tuple and attribute. Now let's see some keys. The first one is your super key. What it is saying? A super key can be a single or more than one. When I'm talking about more than one, it is called combination or a set of keys can identify uniquely a record in a table. So suppose this is the table. Now here, what are the super keys that can be generated? Your social security number can be a super key. Your employee ID can be a super key. And your mobile number can be a super key. But in some cases, if two brothers are working in an organization, they are having the same mobile number. They are sharing the same mobile number. In that case, there is a problem. In those cases, what we'll take the combination of the keys. For example, here we are taking social security number and employee ID is a combination as a super key. Like this, we can take employee ID and employee name combination as a super key. We can combine three columns also: social security number, employee ID and mobile number. The combination of these three will uniquely identify a record in a table. That's why these are called super keys. Now next one is your primary key, which says that a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identifies every row. I have changed the color. These things you have to remember in your examination, which is uniquely identifies every row in a table. Now sometimes I say that it can be a single column or it can be a multiple columns also. Now for example, this is my table. In that case, the primary key I have to choose that a column which cannot be a duplicate value. A column that should not contain a duplicate value can be a primary key. Now cannot be null also. The primary key cannot be null also. A table cannot have more than one primary key. A table can have only one primary key but can have more than one super key. Now let's see what is called candidate key. The candidate key is called a set of attributes that uniquely identifies a tuple. Attribute means your columns and uniquely identifies the tuples means rows. Now the next point says that it is a super key with no repeated attributes. That means the candidate key is a part of your super key. That means super key is your superset and candidate key is your subset. The primary key should be selected from the candidate key. The key that you are selecting as a primary key must be a part of your candidate key. Next point says that every table must have at least single candidate key. If your table does not contain a candidate key, then how you will select a primary key from it? So that's why there must be at least one candidate key. A table can have multiple candidate keys, but out of which only one can be selected as a primary key. We cannot have more than one primary key in a table. Now we'll see what is an alternate key. It says that an alternate key is a candidate key, but it is not selected as a primary key. Then that is called your alternate key. That means an alternate key is also a candidate key, or we can say it is a part of candidate key which is not considered as a primary key. It is also called a secondary key because it is not a primary key, but it is a secondary key which is considered to be an alternate for the primary key. That's why it is called secondary key. A table can have multiple options for primary key. As already I told you, a table can have multiple candidate keys but can have only one primary key. All the keys which are not primary key are called your alternate keys. So let's see in this table which one is called your alternate key. Now here registration number, roll number and mobile number are qualified to become a primary key. So these are called your which keys? These are called your candidate keys for the primary key. But I am selecting the registration number as a primary key. So that's why which is left, your roll number and mobile number is not selected as a primary key. So they are called alternate keys. Now let's see in this table which one is called your primary key. Registration number is treated as a primary key. Then which one is your candidate key? Your registration number, roll number and phone number is considered as your candidate key. Then which one is your alternate key? Now from this candidate key we have selected registration number as your primary key. So which are not selected as a primary key but is the candidate key is called your alternate key. That's why your roll number and mobile number is treated as your alternate key. So let's see what is called foreign key. It is said that it is a column that is having relationship between the two tables. Now suppose we have a table called student table. We have a table called marks table. Two tables are available. Now in this student table, ID is called your primary key. ID is your primary key, and in marks table ID is your foreign key. So that's why with the help of this key it generates a relationship between the two tables. Next, the purpose of the foreign key to maintain the data integrity. As already I told you that data integrity means the maintaining the consistency of the data in different tables for the same record. Now look at over here. Suppose I want to add a record in the marks table. Suppose I am entering the data for the ID called S444. It will not allow me to enter the data into the marks table because first of all it will refer to the primary key ID. Now there is no primary key called S444. That means the student has not registered. If the student is not registered, then how you can enter the marks? So this can be avoided with the help of your foreign key. Next it says that the navigation between the two different instances. What is the instance? Instance is called a record in a table is called your instance. Now suppose I want to get the marks of S001. I want to get the marks of S001. So how I can get it? The primary key S001 is going to be checked with all the foreign keys in the marks table. Where it will match, it will display the complete detail. So that means I am referring to a table in the student table and I am getting the marks from another table, that is called two different tables it is referring and navigating to get the result. The last point says that the act as a cross reference. Obviously there is a cross reference between your primary key and foreign key between the two tables. Now let's see one more example over here. In this, the department code is available in both the tables. In this, the primary key is your department code from the department table and DPT code is your foreign key in your employee table. So this is, I am treating this one as an employee table and this one as your department table. Now the question says that dash is a set of one or more attributes that uniquely identify tuple within a relation. So here the key point is uniquely identifying what? A tuple. So the options are primary key. Oh no. After seeing the option, your expression will be like this. If you don't have a complete idea regarding all the keys, if you are sure about the keys, then your answer will be primary key. The next question is, the primary key can contain null value. Can contain null value? No, primary key cannot contain null value, so it is false. Next, a table can have more than one primary key. No, we cannot have. A table can have only one primary key, but can have more than one candidate key. So it is also false. Now the next question is a set of all possible. Now the key pointers over here is that set of all possible attributes that uniquely identify a tuple in a table. Tuple in a table is referred as dash. All are keys again. But possible attributes, set of possible attributes, it indicates it is super key. A combination of two or more fields is used as a primary key. Now here the key term is combination of two or more fields. When I'm combining two fields for a primary key, what it is called? Yes, it is composite key. Yes, composite key, or it is also known as your primary composite key also. Sometime you may not get this option composite key. You will get this option primary composite key. So be careful about it. Now the question says that all attributes combines inside. Now key point is combines inside the relation that can, here also, that can serve as a primary key. That can serve as a primary key in the sense it cannot be called as a primary key. So let's see the option. Here, yes, candidate key is available. So answer is your candidate key. Now the question says that a candidate key that is not a primary key is called. Not saying that it is a candidate key, but it is not a primary key. So let's see the option. आपको option की जरूरत नहीं अगर you know what is called these keys are clearly. So it is talking about not a primary key. So this cannot be. Now it is not talking about cross reference. So that's why it is not a foreign key. It is not talking about set of attributes. So that's why it cannot be your super key. It is not talking about the combination of possible keys. So that's why it cannot be candidate key. So obviously it is an alternate key. The key which is a candidate key but not selected as a primary key is called your alternate key. Now the question is a non-key attribute. Be careful, it is talking about non-key attribute whose values are derived from the primary key. Now another key point is derived from the primary key of some other table. Another one is the other table is known as DAS. If you know the keys, it is not talking about cross reference, but indirectly it is saying that it is a non-key attribute. That means it is not a primary key in that particular table whose value is derived from the primary key, but indirectly it is saying that its value is referring to a table where it contains a primary key of some other table. Obviously it is talking about your foreign key. So answer is your foreign key. Now thanks for watching this video. If you need any other video related to your SQL or SQL queries like this, then comment in my YouTube section. I will create the videos for you and I will upload it for you.